Yeah, Commune. Go between between Black Suns and the Imperials.
Well,
Vigo.
we're live. So
We're live. Sorry,
we're live. Craig, say hello to our listeners, watchers, viewers. They don't even know we're on, so
they'll be
I'm about to publicize it, but people will watch later. So say hello to these people.
Hello, and a long-delayed Tachyon Squadron Effekt flight. Apologies for the delays, but such is life.
It's the holidays.
It's the holidays. So we're missing a couple of people today, but we do have Ratchet and Bravo, and we have a comment already.
Oh.
Hello, Mohammed.
Yay! Welcome, Mohammed. Yeah, we are on. We're only just on, and it's a bit confused. I've been asleep for about 15 minutes. Not the last 15 minutes. I was asleep for 15 minutes before we were ready to go. But we're just putting ourselves together. This is going to
be a light session.
Most professional stream that you will ever have seen.
You want professional? Pay me.
Yeah, exactly. You want professional? Go and watch blooming Critical Role. Don't go watch Critical Role. Stay here and watch it.
So to recap, let's see. We are currently in the Enkel Mashki system, where the members of Effekt flight, having the Admiral reluctantly agreed that the only people for the job, has sent them out looking for a member of the Black Sun criminal crime family. That's not quite the right criminal organization. Who the data that they have acquired previously suggests that Black Sun are selling shipments to the Imperials, to Moff Narkav, who, as we now know, is building his own Super Star Destroyer. Where we were last session, we'd arrived on Enkel Mashki, and you had hacked into the system to try and find the contact Lost Kabent. Left a tracer and backdoor on the system because Ratchet did his thing. Discovered that he was the named contact for Keshk Shipping, which subcontracted out the ships that have gone missing. You found the office. We're about to break in when Ratchet, I believe, spotted a security camera watching you that was hooked up to the Jizz Club that was opposite you.
Oh yeah.
I just want to make sure, we were observing the place. We hadn't got our crowbars out or.
You were standing in the street, if I remember, trying to debate how to break in.
Yeah. Having a conversation, like any normal conversation on any street in the Star Wars universe, which is mostly about. I've just seen the trailer for Cassian Andor. That's exactly what they're talking about. So
I haven't seen it yet.
Same
here. I will. Other thing, just that I remember, you're in the Vastan starport on the planet Vastan in Enkel Mashki. You know that the Vigo for this branch of Black Sun is Zen Gostan, who is Kabent's
he's
superior.
He's a Kabent, right? Not a Faline.
He's a Faline, yes.
Yeah.
Kabent is a Kaminoan.
Okay. And they've got their headquarters in the Vastin starport.
Yes, so the Gostan is the CEO of the Vikander Alliance Corporation, which is a shipping and refining. So Vastan is basically a factory world. Okay. But it's one of these. It's a mob business, basically. Everybody knows it, but he's too powerful to do anything about, which is why you're looking for Kebent instead. And as we left it last time, you were deciding whether to go into the Jizz Club, but of course the kid isn't here, so oops.
Jerry!
For the purposes, because Death Wish isn't here, we will assume Death Wish is in the shadows covering you for anything that might go wrong.
Ready to leap in the way of any blaster bolts or anything like that.
Yeah.
So he and the kid aren't doing some other mission which we can at some point shout, "Yay!" and they come in and rescue us with this other mission.
Actually, no, that would make more sense because you'd said you'd left the kid with the ship. So we'll say Death Wish has gone to get the kid.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Leaving the two of you, you're still
So
in
do we
the
wait
alleyway.
for the kid or do we go into the Jizz Club?
That's going.
Let's go in. Yeah.
Do you go into
Well,
the
we could spend an hour and a half
It's up to
standing outside waiting. No.
I'm more interested to see where that camera goes.
Yeah. He likes wires to ratchet. This is something I've learned.
Yeah.
And conduits. Particularly
Love
conduits. Yeah.
you. So the camera is on a pretty empty wall, which is why it was fairly easy to spot. There's no entrance here. The entrance, so you're in a side alley, basically.
Right, yeah.
Is there any cabling leading from it?
There is some that snakes round the wall slightly and then has been drilled into the wall.
Okay.
Should we go round to the main entrance or can we find a back entrance?
You'd be able to see that on one of the camera, the cabling snakes round from the wall you're on, round the corner, and then into the wall above where there is a side door on another little alley sort of thing.
We could go in there.
Okay, let us listen at the door first.
Can you make me a notice roll then, please? One of you.
Ratchet, do you want to? Because I suddenly realised I haven't got my character sheet up.
Okay, I have notice. Don't know if you've got anything in notice.
You have notice at 1, Bravo, and Crypt, you have it at 2.
Yeah.
Right then, Ratchet, you listen at the door. You're also more inconspicuous.
2. That's a total 2.
2. You can hear very dim music playing, but most of what you can hear, it sounds like it's maybe a kitchen. There's there's people moving about. You hear like pots and pans and orders being shouted of various foods.
Okay, so we just go in and we walk through like we're meant to be there.
Have you got a clipboard?
Yeah, we're not doing anything. We're just walking straight through the kitchen.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll follow you.
Like we own the place.
All right.
Yep, the door isn't secured.
Okay, so open the door.
I'll open the door, walk through, and I'm going to try and see if I can see where the hole comes out and follow the conduit through, follow the wire through.
Yeah, surreptitiously, Ratchet. Surreptitiously.
Yeah. Definitely surreptitiously.
So you open the door, and there is a fairly small, compact is maybe a better word, kitchen there. There's a human and a I've lost the names of Star Wars species. A Mon Cal.
Mon Cal.
I never knew the names of Star Wars species, so don't worry.
There's an Admiral Akbar.
Right, okay.
And a human.
Now I know. Now I know what we're talking about. Cool.
Both it's not chef's whites, but
yeah. So tip my grandma's helmet to them and just walk through like we're meant to be here.
Yep.
So can you both make me, I'm going to say notice, no, actually, Ratchet noticed because you're trying to follow this cable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bravo. You're trying to look like you're there, belong there. I think this might actually be a provoke.
Right, I think so. Oh, damn it.
Because you're basically trying to...
There we go.
Okay, so what did I have to make? Is it notice?
Noticing.
Yeah.
Actually, no, sorry. Crip, if you make an investigate would make more sense.
Oh, that's better for me. But I rolled rubbish. That's 2.
2. That's enough for a basic success. You're just following the cable.
Striding through, not even really realizing that Ratchet's behind me. And I'm a +2 -2 equals my standard provoke of 2.
So they look at you, but as you stride straight past them, they don't say anything. You do notice, though, that both of them grip the rather sharp-looking knives they're holding a bit harder, just as if they're
ready for an attack.
And like they know how to handle themselves should you.
Cool. But I'm kind of, apart from, giving them a cordial little tip of the hat, I'm not antagonizing them in any sort of way.
Ratchet, you see that the cable leads in. So as you come to the end of and it's only like not even a dozen steps to the end of this kitchen. Okay. There is the main door from where the music is coming from, and there is a side door which looks like a very small office that is closed, and that's where the cable goes into.
Okay, I'll go into that. I'll go through that door, or try the handle at least.
The second you approach that door and looks like you're going to go, and you hear a thunk as one of the knives is very heavily and forcefully slammed into the counter.
Without wanting to look at all phased, he's just opening, cutting a fish head off or something like that.
No, see, nothing to be worried about.
Seeing that you don't pause, you then hear a throat clearing. The Mon Cow. I think you want to step back from there, friend.
We're here on business.
Then take a seat in the club, and someone will come and see you. You can see, I don't know whether Ratchet has even turned towards them, but Bravo, you'd be able to see that.
Yeah, I'm turning to look at them now, not ignoring
them. They've both got these proper kitchen knives, but you can also see that the two of them both have blasters on their hips that have been made a little more obvious.
Okay. You obviously don't know who I am.
I don't know. I don't care. If you're here on business, take a seat. The drinks will come.
I am not usually kept waiting.
What are you trying to get out of this confrontation?
So I'm just trying to push the idea that I'm somebody important that whoever is in that little office would see as though an old friend. Now, this is where you tell me that there is nobody in the office. In which case, I'm hoping for a lead like Mr. Phelps isn't here yet, or something like that.
No, I'm trying to decide whether this is a provoke or a rapport.
I was thinking it might be rapport, but I'll go with provoke as well.
Let me. I'm going to go with provoke, I think, at this point.
I mean, I'm not. I just want to assure you that I'm not being aggressive in this, in my tone of voice. I am just amused that he doesn't know that I'm, the wickedest pirate captain in the sector.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I think he's more going with I don't know you at all. That's not my problem, sort of thing. Let me just. So let me just do a quick roll for them. So you're going to be against a 3 here.
I'm going to get 3 successes on provoke.
Yep.
All right. So I need at least, or do I need to get 4 to beat him?
3 to equal.
3 to equal. Okay. So at least +1, please. +1. 2 pluses and a minus.
He doesn't back down, but you see his hand snakes round past the blaster, and there's a little comm unit on his belt next to the blaster, and he just hits a button, and well, I wouldn't want to keep you waiting, sir.
Madam,
sorry. Yeah, that's me forgetting characters. And
if you want to tell your boss that Valia Elberger is here, then go ahead.
Well, as you're saying that, the door from the club slides open, and there is a Kaminoan standing there in a very fine suit. The music is still playing, but it's quieted down a little. And Kaminoans are they're the
tall
people that created the clones, and they're tall. They
long necks.
Yeah, they duck under the doorway to come in. Look at you from a 1.5 foot above and go, and I don't know Avalia Elberger. So I would suggest you take a seat and we can discuss this like
civilized people, of course. Your office?
I think not.
Well then,
and they
guide me to the booth.
They open the door again and wave you.
So while the attention's all on them, I'm just going to basically. It's a busy. I'm going to see if I can sneak off.
Sneak off where? There's not really.
Yeah, there's no real place.
Because the 2 kitchen people haven't moved.
All right. I want to get in that office. Don't know why I want to get in that office, but I want to get in that office. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically leave a. No, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna follow. I'll follow Bravo.
Okay. I'm just gonna double check. Does the name Vish Trim sound familiar?
Hold on, I haven't got my notepad. Damn it.
Because I've just found it associated with my notes and a trio of question marks next to it.
Fish trim? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
No,
And you
I've
don't
got
know who
nothing
Fish
in
Trim
there.
is?
I can't remember. Which means...
I think Fish Trim was the ally that we rolled something special on creating an advantage and got like 4 successes or something like that, and had this inside man.
Okay, they've just turned up dead outside. Yeah.
Damn it! No, I don't know.
It might be their name that I was keeping for something, and I can't.
No, I've got no clue what that is.
Okay, not a problem. I just thought I would double check because it might have been relevant for now. So yes, they lead you into the club, sit you down at a booth at the back. It's a lot bigger out the front here. There's a big bar. There's a full stage that the kid would love. There's a band playing. But it's you're in a secluded end of the club. But from what you can see, at least half of the patrons are armed in one way or another.
Okay. Pleasant.
So I'm being very relaxed as I sit in the booth. Not at all worrying about the people.
A Twi'lek comes over, brings over a drink for the Kaminoan and looks to the two of you and... What can I get for you?
Oh, I don't know my Star Wars drinks.
Blue milk.
Yeah, that's the only one I know. I don't want to be a cliche. And also, I don't think it's the sort of thing.
I'm just looking at him like.
There we go.
He stands there, looks at you for a second, and then turns away.
Hold on. I'm getting there. Category: alcoholic beverages.
Okay.
Corellian
have you got
ale.
any Eryxian cat's blood?
They look over at the Kaminoan when you say that, and they nod. They nod and go, "If this is what the lady wants, you have my permission to dip into the reserve." And the Twi'lek disappears and leaves you with the Kaminoan, who's sat there with a tumbler of something that has a bit of smoke coming off it.
So, I'm sorry for my rude entrance. We got a little bit lost in the alleyways of the city, and I think I might have come in the back way. But I've come to introduce myself to you. Just side note: do we think this is the gang boss, whose name has just escaped my head?
The person you were looking for is Kaminoan. It's called Los Cabent, but you didn't have much more information about them than that.
So Los Cabent isn't our contact, or is our contact?
No, you don't have a contact here.
Right.
You've been sent to make, or you've been sent to find out what they're doing, or make contact.
I'm going to presume, since you don't know me, I'm going to presume that I do know you. Are you Los Cabent?
They nod.
By reputation only, obviously.
You have me at a disadvantage, although only somewhat. As I do know you came in on a cargo hauler that's currently in docking bay 75. It has.
Your network is just as efficient as I have heard by reputation. I'll be honest. I'm looking for work.
And why would that bother me?
Because the sort of work I'm looking for is the sort of work that only people of your stature and connections can offer.
Then, and at this point, the Twi'lek comes over, brings your drink over Bravo, which is in a very fine glass, and Ratchet's blue milk in like a.
I didn't ask for blue milk. I just looked at him.
Oh, okay. You didn't actually ask for blue milk.
No, I didn't ask for anything. I literally just
Ratchet
looked at him.
Suggested
really
that I asked for blue milk.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So you don't get anything then. They bow and disappear. And after the pause, Kabent looks to you and then, since you apparently have the guts to come direct, shall we drop the formalities?
I like to speak plainly. Go ahead.
If you are here for smuggling work, that can be arranged.
I'm here.
Conditions are rather strict, and shipments need to be delivered promptly and without question.
Well, to be honest, since we're being blunt, smuggling work is somewhat small beer. I leave to the likes of second-rank criminals like that fellow Solo. I am here. I look around with mock discretion, and I lean forward. I'm here for piracy work. Our freighter is rather better armed than even your spies can understand.
Can you make me a report at this point, please?
I would
Bravo.
like your report. I would like to succeed it even more. I'm a
And
3.
you're against a 5.
Oh, fuck you. Excuse my French.
Remember, we can add 2 by using a fate.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see how we do.
I've still got 2 of my fate left, so.
Right. So I'm on +1. So rapport is 4. I honestly can't remember where my. Oh, we don't have refresh here, do we, on this sheet? So I don't know how many I've got.
You start with a base 3.
We start with 3. I don't know how many we've got left. I keep my coins by my.
I don't think you've spent any since we reset it for this mission.
Okay. I will spend a fate point on the extra 2 points to give me a 6.
6. So what are you invoking here?
Oh, I have to invoke a thing, don't I?
You have to invoke an aspect, yes.
Yeah. So the aspect I'm invoking is disrespecting authority, I think. You see, I've had it not just with the Imperials, but with this new republic. I was drummed out for taking chances that anybody would have taken. I want to get my revenge, and what I'm best at is sneaking up on bigger ships, taking them out, and capturing them.
Well, I have to say you have me intrigued. You're not quite what I was expecting.
I rather
And
like
what
this piracy
about-
lark. Can
And
we give up being a rebel?
They turn over towards Ratchet. What about the quiet one?
The quiet one does what I say most of the time, but he's
Well, sometimes I do. Yeah, sometimes I do.
now you choose to speak. He is particularly skilled in shall we say a disruption of systems.
I
Interesting.
could break
No
any
one else on
system
my
wide
crew
open.
is quite as effective a weapon as young. I'm not going to call you by your name. What am I going to call you? What's your race? What creature are you?
I'm a squib.
As the squib.
Well then, since you are so direct, there may be an opportunity, an opportunity to prove yourself. Yes, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Obviously,
just
I don't
realised
need to
that-
prove myself. I say to Ratchet loudly enough for him to hear. We don't need to prove ourselves, but we do like the challenge, don't we, Ratchet? Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
Squib.
There may be an opportunity with the Alliance. I don't like the term New Republic, so pretentious. The rebels pushing into the system. Opportunities have arisen more frequently in the chaos. I think I can arrange something. There is a shipment of construction materials that would be of value to be redirected.
I've had a lot of shipments like that have gone missing.
They tilt their head at that.
Sorry?
Just ever so slightly, they just tilt their head at that as if, they're making note of the fact that you've noticed this. Yes, well, when you are in this line of work, certain shipments are prioritized. Yes, give me a moment. And they get up and head back into the kitchen/office section and leave the two of you.
Back into the little room that we were wanting to get into.
Yeah, is there any conduits or anything that I can hack here?
Nothing obvious from what you can see at the booth.
Okay.
There are, there's definitely some cabling because there are various vid screens on some of the walls. There isn't any visible conduits that you can see from the booth. Actually, can you make me a notice
or investigate?
Investigate, actually, yeah. It's going to be a base of a 3, 5 for extra information.
I got 3.
3. You do see the Twi'lek bartender putting a data pad away under the bar.
Okay, I need to, and there's no Wi-Fi, is there? So I have to actually physically get that.
There generally isn't any Wi-Fi now,
that's what I'm saying.
Because
okay,
it's the 1970s.
so I'm going to invoke never where you want him to be. In sneaking round, and I'm gonna see if I can put a sort of effectively like a little wiretap on it, so I can download the information on that or just use it as a jumping point into their network or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. So I'm going to make that a sneak.
Yep, I got sneak.
Obviously, you've got your. Where was the never where you wanted it to be? Was that
never where? It's a relationship. Never where you want it to be.
Yeah, my copy's missing your second relationship.
Yeah, that was given me by the kid. Basically, gave me that.
So it's going to be a sneak roll. You've got your +2 from invoke. Well, actually, don't invoke that just yet,
okay.
Because you invoke after the roll.
Okay. Well, I've rolled a total of 2.
Okay, so that's not going to be enough. So if you are against
invoke, not be up to a 4.
Yep. So your difficulties are 3 just to get round there unnoticed.
Okay, so that's a 4 then with that.
So yes. So while the Twi'lek's out serving someone else, Bravo. One moment, Ratchet is there. The next moment, he's gone again, and you just see the tuft of fur ducking behind the bar.
He's never where I want him to be, but that's
there
fine.
is a data pad.
Okay.
Just under the bar, next to a fairly substantial, heavy blaster carbine.
Ooh. No, won't nick it.
When I say carbine, I'm talking like that sort of submachine gun sort of size.
Yep. Okay, so I'll see if I can basically just like put a wiretap or something like that on it that will let me use it as a. But if I go back, it'll let me use it as a jumping off point.
Okay. So when you pick it up, the tablet comes to life straight away, and it looks like it's security feeds.
Oh, cool.
And it flicks through a couple of different security feeds, some of which you recognize as being here.
Yeah.
And some of which you don't recognize the buildings that they're coming from.
Okay. I'd want to download all that if I possibly can.
Okay. Can you make me a technology roll to hack this? It's going to be a difficulty of a 4. It's got a bit of security.
All right, so I've got maximize because I'm using my high performance data pad. So I get to maximize. So that's that. So that's a total of I got 4, 7.
7. Yes, you are able to put a tap on that. And because that's a success with style, you can either have, I'll say, an aspect on it or some extra information.
I always go for the aspect. I'm leaving a back door on it, basically, if I can.
Okay, so you'll have an aspect that is backdoor on there with a 3 invocation. Datapad.
Okay.
While you're doing this, Bravo, the door slides open next to you, and the Karen comes back out, sits down next to you, and looks over at the empty seat.
I double take at the empty seat, like it's the first time I've noticed Ratchet's gone. I said, never where you want him to be.
Not unusual with the small species.
I nod. Yes.
They slide a data pad over to you.
Of course, I can use the data pad, can't I?
Yeah, no, it's
Wiring technology. It's fine.
I'm
just always intimidated by ratchets.
You can, yeah. I mean, ratchets is it's the equivalent of running some custom Linux kernel with probably a 50,000-volt electric shock setup in case you put the password in wrong.
Yes, quite possibly.
It lights up, and there is what looks to be flight plans for a convoy of shipments.
You want all the ships taken, or one of the stragglers?
2 minimum. If you can take all of them, I would be impressed. There's 5 ships in the convoy.
Are there any ship stats here? I'm kind of looking for a convoy often goes with protection. So is there something here that's got offensive capability, or are they 5 freighters?
There are. You see mention of 2 Z95
headhunters
fighters.
Oh,
yeah,
bless.
And 2 of the ships have turrets, but it's very light defenses for this, especially given what the region has been like.
No hidden surprises on these freighters?
None that I expect. They've been opting for unusual routes rather than spending the money on proper defenses.
And assuming we are successful, sorry, let me rephrase that. When we are successful, where do you want these ships disappeared to?
Coordinates are attached. A subcontractor will acquire them at that location and hand over payment.
Now we come to the crux of the matter. What are we talking about?
Enough. And they name a number of credits that, compared to what you get in the Alliance, is a substantial number. If you were a ship operator, less so, because obviously your costs and that, but it's a fairly substantial number.
I am a ship operator, or at least that's what I'm pretending to be.
Yeah.
So I wrinkle my nose a little bit at as though I'm calculating what the costs are that I'm going to have to take off that sum. And I kind of go, well, I can understand. It's the first time you've employed me. I'm an unknown quantity in this regard. But I think we could accept that this time.
Excellent.
Normally, I look for a percentage, of course. But...
Well, percentage, they are offered to those on the inside.
Understandably. This is what I mean. I'm not yet on your inside.
So, do we have an agreement? And there is one final thing.
Well, then tell me the final thing before we have the agreement, shall we? Just to be sure that there are no hidden surprises.
And they smile, and Kaminoans aren't that common, so you probably haven't seen this. So Kaminoans, they always have this very serene sort of look to them. But when they smile, you can see actually the teeth are like teeth of a predator, sort of.
Right. Yeah.
And I've no idea if that's canon, but it is now.
But it is now.
Yeah.
It is bloody now. In our verse, no. Galaxy far away.
There is one final thing. You will need to provide some sweetener.
A backhander to you, you mean? You want a cut of this take?
No, I wouldn't be so crude.
Well, then
I want your Alliance records.
My personal records?
Indeed.
But it's going to be very hard for me to get them so far from Alliance ships. I mean, you know, they're held by Rebel HR, I assume.
A dog tag would suffice. I can have someone corroborate.
Fuck it. In for a penny, in for a pound. I rip off my hexagonal dog tag and let it clatter on the table between us.
The hand just gently picks it up, looks at it. Thank you very much.
Looks like I'm going to be busy in a bit.
Well, I do have a shitty record recently. And also, we've done some good taking. I didn't technically tell a lie at any point of that, except for the fact that we've been drummed out of the Alliance.
Yeah. About this point, Bravo, you see the bartender returning to the bar that you last saw Ratchet hiding behind. But Ratchet, you're a bit too small to really see over this, aren't you? How tall are squibs?
They're about 2 to 3 foot tall, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, average height is about 1 meter. So, yeah, you probably haven't seen this yet because they're a bit too far away.
Well, see, this is what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be mega quick, like go in, link in, and then leave. So it was like, you know what I mean? I realized I'd only have a limited amount of time. So it was just...
Okay, so are you leaving then while Kabent is in discussion with...
I would have, but obviously I don't know that Kabent would have been back. I was hoping to get back before Kabent came out.
Yeah, no, so at the point you come back out, then Kabent has already sat down with Bravo. Okay. So we'll rewind a minute while that conversation is happening.
Yeah, no worries. Well, I won't interrupt. It would be just when they're sort of like in conversation, I would obviously try to get in and just basically just sit down. Like nothing's happened. Do you know what I mean? Like I haven't been doing anything.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, you come back about you hear the a bit more of Bravo's story, and you're back in time for the dog tags being handed over.
Okay.
How does
I will
he
be
react
surreptitiously typing on my data pad to create a bogus record for those dog tags to say they've been drummed out of the etc. Do you know?
I mean, that's something that will take you a bit of time, probably, because obviously you're not connected to the Alliance network at the moment.
No. I'll have to basically go through quite a few different back doors.
Yep.
That I have been spending time placing.
Yes, you have. So Kabent nods to the two of you. The shipment, Bravo, you would have seen is making its journey in about a day from now. It passes through this portion of the sector. Kabent goes up, has a word with the bartender, and then disappears back into the office. The music gets a bit louder. What do you want to do?
I want to have a fight with the Wolfman. No. Well, actually, what do I want to do? What are the romantic opportunities here about?
There is a mixed clientele in here of various different species.
Right. I do this. I've got to look relaxed, so I'm kind of justifying this. Anybody on their own of either sex and many races. Probably not a tradition.
Yes, there would be. I'm actually going to offer you here a fate point for this working against you.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
And causing a bit of trouble.
You're going to invoke my aspect finds love, are you?
Yes. I'm going to invoke that. Yes, there is a rather stop species. What's the right word? Not necessarily good looking, but
I'm not sure that good looking is my thing. Remember, I am still a bit scarred.
True. There is a rather rough looking spacer sat at one of the tables. That is because I've forgotten my list of all of the Star Wars species today. So we will say that they're human because I'm being lazy.
Laziness is it. I just want everybody watching this to notice lazy GMs are the best GMs.
Or at least they're adequate.
Yeah. I ought to put a link in the show notes when I write them up to our Redbubble store. Get your own adequate or best GM shirt.
Yes, that by the looks of it is a couple of drinks in already. That responds favorably to you.
Okay. I have no idea how much this is costing, but I order some more of that cat's blood and point to the table over there, and I go and sit next to him while the waitress fetches our drinks. And I'll say, you look down on your luck.
And he looks up at you, notes the scars. Could say the same, lass.
Lady.
Not round here. Not many of them around here. So you find your companion for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
which means Ratchet, you have been left
Left in the
alone
booth.
in the booth. What are you doing for the moment?
First thing, I'd be trying to generate effectively a firewall of some sort. So if they're basically trying to hack into or somebody will be hacking in to get the records of that particular
Dog
tag. I want to create false records for it. That's the first thing that I'm going to be doing anyway.
Okay, so from your data pad, what you'll basically be able to do is start putting together. You won't be able to actually do that because you're not connected.
Yeah.
I sort of imagine Ratchet sort of writing the code, getting it ready for when you send it off.
Yeah.
Because you're doing this, I think I'm going to make this a split series of roles.
Okay.
Let me just code.
Oh, I've got a back door in the Vaston spaceport offices as well.
That won't help you at this point. That would help you.
But
so I'm gonna.
So I just completely forgot I had that.
So I'm gonna split it into 3 separate bits.
Okay.
The first is just coding up on your data pad. The second is creating a fake record, because this sounds like the way you're going. Tell me if you were playing in something else.
No, definitely sounds.
Final bit is actually hacking the Alliance database remotely.
Yeah.
So the code itself is only going to be a difficulty of a 3.
Okay.
Creating the fake record is going to be a 5. Hacking the Alliance database is going to be a 7.
Okay. That's going to be fun.
Obviously, you can, if you want, spend some time creating advantages to give you bonuses.
Yes, I will be.
And I've not been particularly good at getting you to create advantages much, but that is with Fate how you increase your chances against difficult numbers.
Okay. So I will be spent. Yeah, I'll just create the record first, and then I'm going to spend some time creating advantages for the second one, and I'm definitely spending some time to creating some advantages to get the final one.
So the first one is just creating the code to firewall.
Yeah,
and that's a 3.
Yeah, that's I get to maximize that one. So yeah, that's a 3. That's like 4 actually. That's a 4.
4. Okay, so you're sat there on your data pad putting this code, and as any coder knows, it never works the first time, so that's why it takes you a bit. You know, you write it out fine, and then you spend the next 10 minutes debugging it. During this time, Bravo is off. These drinks are stronger than you realized, Bravo.
I'm sure.
Or so maybe they're as strong as you wanted. Which is why, Bravo, you don't immediately notice. And Ratchet, you're in the back of it. So you wouldn't immediately notice until they get further up. A couple of people have come in, and there's a little bit of shouting. And then they've pushed up towards the back end of the club, and the Twi'lek has come around, tried to, slow them down. There's a Gamorrean, and what's that? Actually, we'll just say there's 2 Gamorreans, which are the pig-like
Pig. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
They come
Return
in
of the
pairs.
Jedi.
There's always 2 of them. Yeah.
And they are shouting away at the Twi'lek initially. And the only bit that you understand, Ratchet, is they say Kabent a couple of times. And then one of them pushes the Twi'lek aside and just hammers on the door, leading to the kitchen. And this is pretty much adjacent to the booth that you're in.
The booth.
Whereas
Sorry, who's in which booth?
to the booth
I
that
move
Ratchet
tables?
is in.
Yeah.
Bravo, you're more towards the front of the club, and you'll have maybe seen them go past. It depends on how involved you are with your, friend.
How do we deal with gear in this game? Now, admittedly, I've got gear based off stunts, but is it that's just how we deal with it? How do if I wanted a concussion grenade? How would it?
It depends on what you want. Things that make sense that you would have, like a blaster, you have, but they don't
have a blaster.
You would have had an option of having a blaster if you want.
Yeah. It most probably been taken apart.
Right.
I've mostly got blaster bits, and I could basically cobble together a blaster from the variety of stuff that I've got secreted around myself. But I'm not carrying a blaster.
Okay. In terms of other gear, you could spend a fate point,
right,
and invoke a relevant aspect. In which case, probably
haggling prodigy.
Or can't keep track of my stuff. Oh, look at what I've got in my pocket.
Yeah, true.
Depending on what you wanted, whether I'd let you do that or not.
Okay. What happens if I want to what's the word? Overload the blaster clip to creating a small little concussion explosion that will basically deal with the knock them out at least. I was hoping the Gamorreans.
So that would probably be a technology roll.
Yeah.
Because I'll say you have the clip because you've got the parts of a blaster.
Yeah.
It would be a technology roll to do that. It's going to be against. Can I go with 3 here?
Okay. So that is 7.
7. This is surprisingly easy for you. 7, that's successful style. So I will say you can have an advantage here of what would we call it? I'm just going to call it grenades.
Okay.
I mean, so this is a boost, so it's a one use.
Yeah.
So you can use it. Basically, you've overloaded it. Normally, I would have said you've got it, but it wouldn't have had a weapon value for this because it's so small. But now you've got the grenades aspect. It's got that boost on it. Sort of.
Yeah. All right. I'll just hoik it over the side of the booth that I'm in, basically, at the Gamorrean's feet.
Yeah. So in the time it's taken you to make it, the argument has increased. And the door has just slid back, and they've seen something that's made them go for their guns, and then you pop your grenade over. Can you make me a shoot.
Okay.
It's going to be
that's 3
against the 0 because they're not expecting trouble from you.
3.
3. Do you wish to use your boost of grenade?
Yes.
So that would be another 2. So that's 5.
5.
So that's a 0. So that can either be 5 hits, or you can sacrifice one of those hits to generate a boost.
A boost for somebody
for
else,
use
or...
in a second. Yeah. So it could be stun. It could be a boost in terms of.
Yeah, I'll have boost stunned. I just want them stunned. I don't want them hurt. I just want them knocked out.
Well, so it wouldn't be that sort of level of stunned, but it would be something that someone else could use necessarily.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have stunned then.
So they're taking 4 points of stress each. And then stunned. Yeah, they look a bit confused because this little explosion has just gone off at their feet. I'm gonna.
Can I
ask... Yep.
So I have a feeling about this pub and about my status in it now. This jizz bar, I should say. At least half the people in here are heavily armed.
Well,
a lot of us
blasters, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But so far, nobody has tried to keep the peace in this. But this little explosion has maybe given everybody pause. So I want to take my blaster out very obviously, click the safety off or whatever, pointing at the Gamorreans and say, "Hey, make an appointment." Which I think is doubly ironic because, of course, it's exactly what we didn't do. And try and provoke the rest of the crowd to kind of point their guns at the Gamorreans as well.
So, I'll let you do that, but I'm going to make it harder because you're a bit drunk at this point. And because they're not looking at you, they're totally focused the other direction.
Yeah, so that's my is to kind of get them to turn around and do this. Hopefully that the whole bar is pointing guns at them now.
So that's going to be a 4 on the difficulty. You can, if you wish, spend the stunned aspect.
I was thinking about doing that,
Cool.
but I might also I might
see what you roll.
Mine.
You might roll.
Well,
awesome.
I got 3 pluses, 1 minus, so that's +2. I've got provoke 4, so that equals it. Do I need to push it over the line a bit?
No, what does that give you a total of 6?
No, so I got 2. I got provoke 2, so that's 4 in total.
Right. Sorry, I thought you meant you had provoke 4. Equal it will it will give you a boost, but it won't give you. Basically, it will confuse them for a second, but it won't auto give you what you want.
So if I invoke the stunned, will that get me to 6?
Yes.
Let's do that. Do I spend a fate point on that?
No, you spend the invocation that was on.
Okay, it was invoked already. Cool.
Yeah. One of them starts turning to you and pulling the gun up. The rest, a couple of other members of the club start standing and turning. And then a couple of blaster bolts exit the kitchen. And into the chest of the front one. Let me just do a quick roll. Who is going to take a condition, a consequence, sorry, wrong game. It's just going to be being shot because they're not going to last long. I'm lazy as well.
Lazy GM.
And they're not going to last long enough.
Last type.
Can you both make me? What would it be? What would be? Normally it would be athletics, but I think we're already in the fight. So just fight rolls, please.
Okay.
Not
For
not
initiative.
athletics. Oh,
Not
okay.
athletics.
Okay. I haven't got
So
fight.
I am 4 on fight.
-2.
Okay, well, the Gamorreans are both on 1, which would put Bravo as our next. And then the crowd will act at the end of the round. So Bravo.
So I'm going to, I'm not interested in shooting them necessarily, unless the guy facing me is still raising his gun.
Yes, but not slowly.
But nervously.
Not nervously. More of a is raising it, but hasn't quite decided where the threat is.
Okay. So I'm going to try and say, calm the situation down now and say, look, you're outgunned, you're outnumbered. Put your weapons down, leave in peace, make an appointment.
So that's going to be, I think, you're trying to calm it down a bit. So that might actually be more of would it be empathy or rapport?
I think it's rapport.
I think it's rapport, yes. Empathy is more about noticing people's.
Yeah.
Before you make that, I'm going to make a roll for the crowd to see whether they give you an advantage. You will get a invocation if you need it of outnumbered that you can use. No, not outdressed, Bruce. And you are against a difficulty of a -1.
Right, rapport 3. Oh fuck. 3 minuses, so I'm on I'm on 0. I will invoke the outgunned for 2.
Oh, you can use it to reroll if you wish.
Oh, yeah, reroll. It'd be better to reroll.
Yeah. Oh, where's my 4th dice? I've got 3 pluses. Where did my bloody 4th dice disappear off to? Give me a moment. Bloody hell, where did it go? I left out of my dice tray. Ah, bloody hell.
If you hear like a munching, the dice monster's eating it.
I mean, at least it's not a D4.
Yeah.
Another plus. So that's
plus.
4. 4 plus 3, 7 on that.
Against -1, so that's 8. They slowly lower the pistol, and you just see the stubby little arm sort of reaching behind them to tap their companion as a sort of are you seeing this sort of thing? And they do lower the guns. What are you doing now that they've lowered them? And Ratchet, what are you doing?
I'm scooching down basically because no. Actually, I'll get onto the seat, look over, and go shh, and sit back down.
I'm not doing. I'm still pointing my gun at them because we've asked them to leave.
And they are slowly making a move towards the door when they're about halfway back towards the front door when Kabent steps out from the kitchen, totally unarmed, but smiling that shark-like grin, and steps forward through the crowd, nods at Ratchet, and looks to them, and looks to Bravo, and then back at them and just goes, "This is most disappointing. If you have disagreements with the deal, we could have discussed it. Now you have 4 hours. 4 hours to get out of this system. If you're still in this system, after that, the Black Sun," and this is the first time they've directly invoked the name Black Sun in front of you. "We have people that will be coming to see you, and they are not as forgiving." And at this, the two of them turn and bolt for the door. And Kabent turns around and gives you a proper nod of respect, Bravo. And thank you. That was not business that you had to mix yourself up in. I prefer to run a civilized operation.
Well, I learned a lesson about making appointments, so I just thought, I should pass it on. As a friendly spacer, everybody here is making a living. It's worth giving them a bit of etiquette advice.
You get a chuckle at that. And they head back in, say something to the Twi'lek as they go. A couple of seconds, well, maybe a minute later, another drink appears at your table.
Cool. At the table I'm sharing with my romantic partner of the day.
Yeah. Ratchet, the Twi'lek comes back, sees if you want anything. Leaves you and says, basically tells you anything you want is on the house. Disappears back, and
Okay. Okay.
Not booze.
I'm not interested in booze, but he's just said to a scrub, anything I want is on the house. Okay. I'm starting to look for technological gizmos and gadgets that I can basically start putting into my pockets.
And I think we will leave it there, given we're coming up on 10 to 10.
Yeah.
Short session, but a eventful one.
So we are now in with the Black Sun.
Yep. You have a backdoor on one of their data pads.
Yeah.
You have a mission to go and become pirates.
Bizarre. Need to find out what group who that actually is. If it's just some randoms.
Yeah, what that deal is.
What.
Yeah. But we will come back to that in a couple
2
of
weeks.
weeks, hopefully with a full crew.
I might not be around in 2 weeks' time. Just let me just double check. I don't know if I will be.
Maybe I should surreptitiously get my communicator up to my mouth and say, Orchid, Death Wish, see if you can befriend those Gamorreans that are leaving the bar.
Yeah, I'm away that week.
Right. Well, we'll see how everyone else is for the 8th.
Yeah.
If Orchid and Deathwish want to do a catch-up scenario, we can just assume that I am spending the next 18 hours in bed.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you could get if you get the other two in and let them do a catch up what they're doing on the interim.
Yeah, we will catch up with Dave and Jerry and find out if needs be, or we can do. Ratchet is busy doing his hacking in the background, and we'll see who's about.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks very much, Craig. That was a very enjoyable.
Thank you very much, Craig.
Now
that wasn't where I expected it to go.
Well, you're playing with us. We're never going to take it where you expected it to go.
No.
Where did you, out of interest, where did you expect it to go? What did you expect?
Much more sneaky hacking, trying to get some dirt and maybe follow Cavent to a meeting.
I was certainly thinking that, but it then becomes the problem with that. It becomes as it's mainly me that does that. So it's more interesting if other people can do stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, what I wasn't expecting was you to go straight in face to face.
Oh, well, that's your schoolboy error, Craig. Anyway, so I am going to go and read a little book that I've got now called Signal to Noise.
Oh,
as my bedtime reading. I may not actually get to read it all before I fall asleep, but that is no criticism of the writing therein.
Well, I hope you enjoy it, and I'm glad it arrived safely.
And people can get it on itch.io if they're listening this far.
And Drive for RPG.
And have you got any hard copies left?
I do. They will be going up on Etsy soon, and fingers crossed. I need to drop them an email, but I'm contacting Indie Press Revolution to see about stocking it in the States.
Oh, cool! And you're going to take it to Dragon Meat? Is that your plan?
That is the plan. Yep. So
excellent.
On sale at Dragon Meat.
So, what's your shop on Etsy?
Lunar Shadow Designs. All that's up there at the moment is Project Cassandra.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Cool.
I just haven't got around to putting it up yet.
Well, let's say goodbye to Mohammed and Bruce.
Yep.
See you next time, boys and girls, and anybody else that's watching.
See you.